Race to Witch Mountain. I was a huge fan of the originals, and I have to ask, were you a fan of the originals as well?
Do you need me to answer?
No.
Okay. Sorry. I was a big fan of the original when I was a kid. Loved it, loved watching it. You know, and I was also very impressed with the powers that the kids had, because that was always something that, you know, as a kid you dream about that, like having special powers. It's really cool.
I think one of the things that made, you know, the original suffered from, you know, special effects from the 70s, but man, this new one is souped up and it's so amazing. But at the heart, the thing that made the originals so successful were the kids. You just believed in them. And once again, you talk about lightning striking twice. These kids are amazing. Tell me about working with them.
The kids were fantastic. I think that, you know, child actors always impressed me to begin with, and these kids were really nothing short of exceptional, and I loved every day working with them, and especially at that age, they're 15, 16, so, you know, they're coming into their own, not only as actors, but then as young adults, and very impressed with them.
This is the second time you've worked with Andy, and I loved hearing him talk about how much he was a fan of the original, and how did he approach you?
Andy had this idea about reimagining this movie. He pitched me this idea. I love the idea. I love the idea about playing a guy who struggled to stay on the right path for a long time, had squandered a lot of opportunities in his life, didn't have anything to show for it, in his 30s, and not much to show. But yet, of all the people on earth, he's given one opportunity to touch greatness. He's given an opportunity to do something really special, and he steps up to the plate, shows his integrity, and accomplishes it. I think it was a great thing.
The rapport with the cast was amazing. There was so much chemistry, but I also felt like when I'm watching this, you have 4 people working together, you know, for a common goal. But there was a 5th character in this film, and that's the city of Las Vegas. How exciting and interesting was it to shoot in Vegas?
First of all, the city of Las Vegas, always alive. There's always something happening. There's a lot of different energies that come out of Las Vegas at any given time, all hours of the day. But specifically, we're on the set, you know, on the strip, shooting from 2 to 5 a.m. And it was a bit challenging, but yet at the same time, only because people were going nuts. But at the same time, it helped with the tone of the movie because of the energy, and because it was a race essentially to get to Witch Mountain, and because the city is so alive, it helped. It made that transition very seamless.
You know, a movie like this is exciting, and there's so many different sequences that just draw you in. But it's such a physical movie. Was there anything about? I mean, there was some amazing stunts, and it's almost like continuous. What did you find challenging?
I think, well, what's challenging about a movie like this is when you set out and you recognize early the type of movie you want to make, which let's make a big adventure type of movie that feels like a ride. Then the challenge is, well, we also like comedy. We like people to laugh and feel good and have a good time, and trying to inject comedy where you can, and you want to try and strike a good balance. You don't want the comedy to take away from the action or vice versa. So you got to be smart at great action, great adventure. I'm gonna make you laugh. Great action, great adventure. Gonna laugh again. So it's like that. So that was a good challenge, but that's a great challenge to have, by the way. It could be a lot worse.
Yeah. You know, and personally, I'm a big fan of Andy and of his work, and working with him and having him on set. Last night he gave us a tour and he was talking about all the different areas that they shot at, and it just seems like he brought such an energy into it. How close did you follow the script, or did you have the chance while you're on set to kind of improvise and really stretch out?
Yeah, you can. You know, Andy creates that type of environment for all his actors. You know, and the environment is that of, sure, we should by all means stick to the source material that's written. Let's at least get what's on the page. Then whatever comes to mind, whatever you think. Whatever you think you need to say, just as an actor, as a performance, from a performance standpoint, go ahead and do it. Andy creates that environment. The great thing about Andy is, aside from he's got a very fun exterior, you know, and he loves to laugh and have a good time, but he's a very astute, passionate director. And what I love about Andy is, number one, he's one of the happiest men I've ever met in my life. He's just happy, and he should be, and it's great. Andy loves making movies for people that make people feel good. That's all he wants to do. The material coming from Andy will never be dark. he wants to make movies that make you feel good.
And at the end of the day, movies that you can take your family to, and what more could you ask for? Thank you so much.
What a pleasure.
Pleasure talking with you.
Good seeing you.
Take care.
Okay, you too.